But all of a sudden, Ben Carson said, James, you need to spend time with this man. Huckabee said the same thing. Others did. Rick Perry called and said the same thing. And I went and spent time with him. And I really need to say this because it leads us to where we are right now. I asked his son, Eric, to come in for the first meeting, and he spent an hour and a half with me. I made a comment, sir, that's the longest you've ever been quiet in your whole life. And everybody heard that, laughed, and he certainly laughed. His family laughed. But here's the thing. I said, Eric, you say this man is a great father, and all of you children, you really are remarkable. You really are. And he said, James, he's a great father. And I looked over at him behind his desk, and he was beaming. And I said, sir, your family really believes you're a great father, and we have a fatherless nation. We need a father. I said, I want to help you learn how to be a father that a nation needs. And I said, sir, and by the way, I said, Eric, would you help me? And Eric reached over and grabbed my hand and said, count me in. I said, sir, please hear me. You can't make America great. Only God can make America great. And there's only one father who knows best. He always knows best. And he's anxious to share it with those who are willing to hear and learn. I had that 1.5 hour conversation, and I watched something happen, but I didn't know how fully until later. For 4 years, I have watched the greatest men and women of God that I know surround this man with prayer. Even this week, even yesterday, I heard some of the greatest prayers I've ever heard in my life. I think yesterday I was probably on maybe 2 hours of calls with now not just 20 or so of us or 30 of us that began helping him, but hundreds of great leaders, hundreds of people who love God and love their neighbor. And I'm actually watching God teach this man that which he had never even considered. I'll go ahead and say this. He lived for himself until 10 or 15 years ago, something began to happen. It's still in let's say it's in process, becoming more teachable, more fruitful all the time. But I promise you this, all of Donald Trump's children, Don Jr., Eric, Ivanka, and I believe Barron, I don't know Barron, but I know that Jared, I know Eric and Lara, I am telling you, you listen to me. This family, 4 years I've interacted with them. Not one time have they ever expressed interest in anything pertaining to their life, their personal future, their personal wealth. They have one thought. We want to deliver the very best to every person in America, and we want to see everyone who will receive the blessings and freedom that freedom offers blessed. But we're going to do everything we can to deliver the best for every American. You can push back all you want to, and you can hear the firmness in what I'm saying. I haven't spent a little time with this man. I've spent extensive time with him. I have ridden with him on the plane and in the Suburban and on the phone. Sometimes I've even said, sir, you may just need to tell me to back off. He told his closest friend in the faith, said, James just preaches to me, and then he starts praying. This man has appreciated it and made it clear. I want to be surrounded by prayer and wisdom. And he's made it emphatically clear. Surround me with prayer and wisdom. I've been 40 years in Washington meeting with leaders, beginning with Ronald Reagan. I have never seen a president desire to have wisdom and truth from every possible source and the prayers of people who love God. I thanked him when I talked to him earlier this week. Sir, please hear this from me and every American. Thank you and every member of your family for loving your neighbor more than you love yourselves, because there are not many people in America, in the world, who would put up with 24 hours of absolute, deceptive, manipulative, chronic assault against a man that is diligently trying to help all of us. And he has laid down, along with every member of his family, their personal comfort. They don't have a normal life to live. Not many of you listening to me would continue to get up every day, and even when you leave the White House to go out to the helicopter, stop and look at a bunch of paid assassins who are most of them going to misrepresent what you say instead of trying to help the American people with the freedom of speech and press that they have. And he stands there and listens to them and talks to them and tries to answer them. And if he answers them perfectly, they're going to misrepresent him. They're going to accuse him of doing it for the wrong reason. So I am saying, you listen right now, please. It is time for every Christian to get their head out of the sand, get their feet off the sand, plant their feet on the solid rock of hearing the word of God, hearing the words of Jesus, and doing them.